Well, Bennett Kessler filed the following report. For some, time is marked by when the Digital 395 project goes into operation. It promises major, expanded, and high-speed internet service that will impact businesses, government agencies, and individuals. Now, according to Michael Ort of Praxis, the company in charge of construction, the project is going in like it should. Now, Ort said that two different contractors have gone to work on the project. The construction started in Colville and Bridgeport on the north and Barstow in the south. Ort said that crews will work as long as they can in northern Mono County till the weather moves in. Ort said that the crews are also placing cable in the Carson City and Reno areas. Now, construction in Inyo County will start later, where weather is not much of a factor. Work started in Barstow the second week of August, and crews are working toward Kramer Junction. Now, Ort said, our plan is to work our way into Ridgecrest by December. He said, following that, the fiber cable will go along Highway 395 in Inyo County, and Ort said work in Inyo should go fairly fast since there are not heavy rocks alongside most of the highway. Now, Ort called the current construction a two-directional effort. He repeated that Praxis has the option that if construction is snowed out in Mono County, they will concentrate on southern areas. Now, does he think they will hit their planned schedule? Ort said, I'm pretty optimistic. Digital 395 got the official go-ahead to construct at the end of July. The federal government provided $80 million for the project, and the state contributed $20 million. It is scheduled for completion next year. Now, California Broadband Cooperative will own and operate Digital 395 along with Praxis. CBC CEO Robert Volker said that his nonprofit organization plans to offer high-speed internet service to 237 critical institutions in the Eastern Sierra, including schools, hospitals, libraries, public safety, and government buildings. He said once the network is in place next year, consumers and businesses should see immediate benefits through local service providers who will have greater broadband capacity and be able to expand. Well, Bennett Kessler also filed this following story. The past year has kept Mammoth Lakes residents mostly in the dark about negotiations over the lawsuit judgment debt. Now, town officials say they want to hear from people on proposed plans to cut 7 police officers and 6 other employees, along with the closure of Whitmore Park and Pool. And this is to raise $2 million per year to pay off the debt. Now, citizens can find the 5-year plan proposed by Mammoth Lakes town officials on the Town of Mammoth Lakes website. Now, it looks like the easiest way to get there is to Google Town of Mammoth Lakes. And once you're on their town website, on the left, click on the town settlement with MLLA, then scroll down to settlement agreements and related documents. Under September 27, 2012 documents, click on proposed restructuring plan. And we've gotten some comments on our website that it's a little difficult to get to, so it might take you a moment to navigate there. Now, for those who do not feel good about reading financial documents, the plan looks like a confusion of numbers. In plain terms, the documents say that the town will come up short by more than $971,000 this fiscal year. Now, that takes into account the more than $2.5 million payment to MLLA, Mammoth Lakes Land Acquisition, and the $50,000 payment to developer Terry Ballas. Now, the documents then show the proposal to make up the $971,000 shortfall. Police department cuts add up to $540,000, but this includes the elimination of 7 officers, the police lieutenant, 2 sergeants, and 4 officers. Now, the plan also includes a cut of more than $287,000 from community development and a nearly $90,000 cut from public works and parks. Now, this year, closure of Whitmore Park and Pool will save $57,416, and the total savings of eliminating the pool and 1 parks maintenance position will save nearly $90,000. Now, the plan also includes elimination of the budget manager with a transfer of duties to the assistant town manager for a savings of $69,000 plus. Other IT changes add up to a total savings of more than $96,000 in finance and IT. Now, to balance the budget this year, the proposal calls for use of $1.4 million from the reserve for economic uncertainty, last year's surplus, and current surplus. Mammoth Lakes Town Manager Dave Wilbrecht said that some legal fees will be returned to the town and count as surplus. He said that he and others are, quote, moving through implementing the plan and meeting with collective bargaining groups, end quote. Now, Wilbrecht said that the restructuring plan will be on every town council agenda for the public to come forward with what they want, including tonight's town council meeting. Now, the town manager did say that emails and calls have come in to say that people want to offset proposed cuts. Now, he said officials hope the public will bring up these thoughts sooner rather than later, and perhaps that will take place again at tonight's Mammoth Lakes Town Council meeting. Now, Wilbrecht did confirm that with money from tax measures A and T can be used to offset the proposed cuts. Two measures A were voted in as general fund tax money with the suggestion that they be spent on tourism and housing. Measure T is the same kind of general tax with a suggestion of expense on transit. Now, these three measures bring in more than $3 million per year. Measures R and U funds could also be used for certain things. Now, when asked if citizens could say they want the town to spend measures A and T on the budget and save the police officers, Town Manager Dave Wilbrecht said, "I'm expecting that." The item on budget cuts is the last one on tonight's agenda, which is relatively short. Now, when contacted by Sierra Wave Media for his view of the proposed plan to finance the debt, Mammoth Police Chief Dan Watson said, quote, "I'm still analyzing the council's restructuring plan that was released last Thursday. My staff and I are trying to determine the impacts of a 46% reduction in sworn strength and a 67% reduction in supervision," end quote. Chief Watson said if this plan goes into effect, the losses will include the school resource officer, Monette task force, and 5 patrol personnel. Chief Watson said this will mean times during the week when there will only be 1 police officer on duty. The chief said, quote, "Being in a remote location without other law enforcement services nearby, I'm concerned about what this will mean for the safety of our residents, visitors, and officers," end quote. Now, Chief Watson added in his response that, quote, "The town council has the very difficult challenge of determining how to pay the settlement. The plan that was presented is the beginning of a process, and the council is seeking public input. The plan provides a starting point for discussion, and there will likely be changes," end quote. Now, Chief Watson said he encourages all residents to become familiar with the plan and then offer their opinions on priorities by speaking at future town council meetings or by forwarding their thoughts via email to Town Clerk Jamie Gray, and that email address is jgray@ci.mammoth-lakes.ca.us. We'll be back with more news.